All right, here we go, FT fam. It is time for our playoff bracket predictions, and that includes help from our friends who put together Out of the Park Baseball 25, and they have nailed some simulations in the past. They ran 1,000 simulations on the postseason bracket. Everything's updated, right? They update as we go, so it's not like the game started from back in March or April and Acuna and Strider and all that are in there. No, these are updated rosters, the whole deal. And so they'll show us each team's winning percentage too, or I'll mention it in the series, kind of like the percentage chance that the team wins the series or how many times out of 1,000 that the team won. So we'll get their predictions and we'll do ours as well. Are we ready to go? Okay, let's start with Detroit and Houston. Who is winning that series?
Houston.
Easy?
No, I just think the experience. I think Frommer's going to deal. I think their bullpen is better.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not as many question marks, right? Lineup-wise, bullpen-wise for the Astros as there are for Detroit.
Okay. Kratz? What's that?
Can't spell Tarek without a T. Tigers? Tigers win tonight.
No. Who wins the series?
I don't care who you think's going to win tonight. Who's winning the series?
And that will shut down the rest of it. Tigers win it.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, I'm up 1 on Kratz.
All right. I too will take, well, we can show it. I too will take Houston. I think they're going to go far again. I think they're being overlooked after a slow start. I mean, Tucker's back. We'll see how Jordan is. I think he'll be fine. And Out of the Park picks Houston as well. I'm giving him a 70% chance. Pap's going Houston. Todd Father's going Houston. So everybody Houston except for Kratz, who's going to look really smart or really not paying attention over the past 10 years to the most dominant team. All right, let's get to the AL wildcard series with Baltimore and Kansas City. We can all just kick this around. Anyone have KC?
You do. I have Baltimore.
You have Baltimore?
Mm-hmm.
Kratz? What?
KC.
You have KC? Nice. Okay. Out of the Park picked Baltimore. I've got Kansas City. So there's 2 KCs. Kratz is going anti-chalk right now.
The wall.
Yeah. Out of the Park thinks it's close, though. They got 56%
for
Baltimore.
Burns tonight, they'll figure it out. And I think their offense is going to be better. And there's something to be said for them losing last year and getting swept. And they're playing at home. And Kansas City hasn't hit worth a crap for like the last couple weeks. So.
Okay, that's true. Vinny P's back, which some people are thinking is going to be the answer. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been several weeks. So let's get to the NL wild card. You've got the Brewers and Mets, the Padres, and the Braves. Anyone see any upsets here? Or do you guys have chalk with Milwaukee and San Diego?
Chalk. I took the Mets.
You took the Mets?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. You think they'll ride the momentum?
I just feel like one of these 2 teams is going to win. I think San Diego is too good.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some holes in Milwaukee. As good as they are, and I love Murph, and I love what they've done, but I just think there's some holes there. And I think that the Mets' pitching is actually lined up pretty well for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I know they have Severino. They can get Manaea. They can get Peterson all to throw. And I know they just played them. And the Brewers took 2 out of 3. Yes, stolen bases are going to be a key, though. If they get too many stolen bases, they give up too many stolen bases.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be ugly. But I just think the Mets are going to have Grimace in the stands. There's going to be a lot, Lindor's hitting homers in the bullpens today. I don't know. There's something about the Mets.
All right, well, the Out of the Park simulation has Milwaukee. Kratz, you have Milwaukee. I have Milwaukee. I mean, I think we got a nice little preview in what was kind of a must-win over the weekend for the Mets. And I know it's a fresh series. We'll see what happens. But I don't think they match up well against them. Like, I think the Mets match up better against even San Diego, as weird as it sounds. And I know they beat them in the season series. A lot of it was earlier in the year. Machado was not 100%. Tatis wasn't playing, whatever. But I thought that would have actually been a better matchup, as crazy as it sounds.
No, I'd say I don't disagree with you, but I like AJ's pick that one of these 2 teams can stay hot through this and then maybe hit a wall. But I still think the Brewers have figured out something that we don't know, and it's just how to win games. That's it. They know how to win games.
Homer pick of all time. Homerist pick of all times. Name one. Pick one. They're all Homer picks. Royals,
Tigers.
Check.
Yep. Brewers,
check. But the Astros, you didn't pick them because you tripped on the carpet once, so you didn't want to pick them.
By the way, Todd's got the Mets.
They gave me a lot of money.
Pap has Milwaukee. All right, let's get to the division series. All right, so this is where things get interesting because it depends on who you guys picked. So Who do you have in the division series? You can just say both. We'll each go through both. We'll show the board. As we
Which
go.
one, AL or NL?
AL first.
AL, I picked the Yankees, and I picked the Astros.
Okay. So you've got the Yankees winning their series against Baltimore.
And the Astros beating the Guardians.
Okay. And that is what the out-of-the-park simulation has as well.
Because I think the Astros, again, Cleveland's pitching, yes, their bullpen's great, but their starters are not good. This is a longer series. And I just think the Yankees are better than the Orioles. And I think their rotation is going to be more set. And if the Orioles have to play a tough series like Kratz is saying against the Royals, their pitching and bullpen is going to be beat up. So I just think the Yankees will be lined up with Rodon, Cole, all of them ready to go, and their bullpen will be rested. And I think they'll get through this one.
Mm-hmm. Kratz, what's your take on the division series?
Yankees and Cleveland.
Homer.
Look at mine.
KC, huh?
Wow.
There's always a team
the Will Smith love.
Yeah, the Will Smith mojo. There's always a team that you go, really? The way they were playing the last few years? Do you remember the Diamondbacks at the end of last year?
Yes.
They were like the end of this year. It was like, really?
Yeah.
And then you're like, wow, this team's kind of built for a postseason series. That's why, to me...
You're going to go with Kansas City's lineup, though. The difference is Arizona's lineup was better than Kansas City. Basically, Kansas City has Bobby Witt.
It was good.
And Salvador Perez, if he swings at balls that he can reach.
And Vinny. Now we're already at 3.
Vinny hasn't played in a month, so that's the question mark.
He'll be fine. He's clutch.
I wouldn't lean on Vinny.
Okay. On the other side, yeah, there's a lot of chalk here. I got Houston. Out of the park, by the way, is Houston over Cleveland.
AJ. Another homer pick for Kratz. Cleveland.
Cleveland for
Steven
Pat,
Votes, my friend.
Todd, and Kratz. They have Cleveland making it to the ALCS. Kratz, you think Cleveland's got enough firepower?
I think Cleveland has enough.
Forget the pitching.
Bullpen
with the offense. Okay.
I think they have enough. I think they have enough firepower. I think they are the Brewers of the American League. I think their lineup has enough firepower to do what they need to do, and Jose Ramirez is going to be the MVP of the ALDS, not the ALCS, because I have them losing. Sneak peek.
Okay, let's get to the division series. And by the way, I don't know if I fully mentioned this, but everyone had San Diego beating the Braves in this first round. Yeah. That's a tough one to pick against right now.
It's just hard when you have to fly across. I mean, it could
you know what the X factor for me is? Just no Chris Sale. No Chris Sale in the series. That's it. Yeah. That did it for me.
Yeah, that was it. Iglesias pitch, he threw like 60 pitches yesterday.
Yeah. So even if they take game 2 with Fried, I'm just like, no Chris Sale. That did it for me. If they had Sale, I think they could have made some noise.
Okay.
It would have made it more difficult. So division series for everyone. Let's start with the winner of, we know everyone has San Diego against LA, which is going to be an awesome series. I hope you're on that, because that was like a glory series from 2022.
Incredible.
Yeah, dude. Everyone was loving that. You guys were awesome on that call a couple of years ago. So it looks like it's pretty split here. Todd and Pap have LA, Kratz and Out of the Park both going with LA, and AJ and myself going with San Diego. I don't think the Padres are scared of the Dodgers. I think they match up well.
Last time they played the playoff series, San Diego whooped them.
Yeah.
Right? The goose fell on the – remember the goose landed on the field? And we're like, whoever wins this series is going to have a rally goose. And the Padres had, the old guys doing the rap song about the goose and all that stuff. I mean, listen, the Padres, they whooped them in the regular season.
Yep.
And they're not afraid of the Dodgers. They're lined up. I'd love to do this here. No,
it would be awesome.
It would be awesome, but
yeah, Out of the Park has the Dodgers with 62%
heavy.
chance. That's heavy. All right, other side. Depending on you had Mets or Brewers against Phillies. Everyone's going Phillies, and this is where I'm going to get slammed maybe because I had the Phillies before the season started, but I don't care. I mean, I get to fast forward and look, and I need some spice in my life with the playoff picks.
Philly's only 52%.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
From Out of the Park. I just think this is closer than it appears, and I think people have been overlooking Milwaukee all year.
I think
maybe
Nola,
I'm wrong, but
I think Nola, Wheeler, and if Ranger can just figure it out.
But he's not
awful.
He's not right now.
But he's also no one knew who he was in the postseasons where he's made his name the last few years. So maybe when the adrenaline kicks in, he figures it out. But I just think the Phillies have too much for either one of these teams.
Okay,
especially after. I think they're going to have a tough division series against the Mets and Brewers are going to kind of beat each other up. And they both are going to have to rely a lot on their bullpen. They're only going to get one day off. And Philly's going to be, we almost had too much rest. We're going to win.
Long layoff. We'll see. Kratz, that was a tough one for you. Phillies and Brewers.
Oh, you didn't know who to pick. Oh.
Tugging at the heartstrings. But you feel good about that Phillies pick?
I win either way. It's like AJ betting against the White Sox. I feel good about the Phillies pick. I do. And I think if Ranger comes back, the last few years when he's done well, they've had a short leash on him anyway. If you look at what he does in 4 to 5 inning outings, it's way different than trying to spread him out through a 6 or 7 inning regular season start. And I think they've done it well. But I also think they have Christopher Sanchez, who has just eliminated the home run ball. He has really, really kept the ball in the park, in a small park in Philly. And I think that will play if Ranger falters.
Yep. All right, let's get to the ALCS. Who's coming out of the ALCS? I'm so boring, but I have a hard time seeing Houston put it all together. I got them going to the World Series.
I picked Houston. I don't know why.
You do too?
And all that keeps playing over and over in my head is what Susan Waldron said. When we asked her, I think it was last year.
Susan Waldman, it was the beginning of this year. Or no, it was the beginning of last year.
Last spring training, we asked her, can the Yankees get to the World Series? You know what she said? Are the Astros still in the league? And that just, every time I'm like, the Yankees are going to do it. And then I hear a Yankees announcer say they can't beat the Astros. And I know they swept them early in the year. That wasn't the same Astros team. I just have a hard time not seeing the Astros in the World Series.
Mm-hmm. Kratz, your former teams.
Yankees. I have the Yankees making it, and I don't think they have to beat Houston. I think the Tigers are going to do the job for them. So that's why I have the Yankees moving on. And nobody gave me any love. I picked the Dodgers. That's not even one of my I could have picked the Padres. I played for the Padres. I could have picked them. So that's my one non-homer pick, by the way.
You did? When did you play for the Padres? For what, 24 hours?
In spring training, 2016.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. See if it really counted or not.
Yeah, I think still Houston's bullpen. I mean, Abreu looked like one of the nastiest relievers I've ever seen in the playoffs a couple of years ago. I think he's still got that level stuff. Hader's going to have, another dominant little run here, I think, in my mind. And the offense is good. There's a lot of good players in that lineup for Houston.
Even if Alvarez plays, that's
dude, it's even better than last year. Yonder Diaz instead of Maldonado at catcher. Like, there's some big advantages there. All right.
Anybody other than Jose Abreu at first base is an advantage.
Hell yeah. That was one of the biggest moves they made this year was cutting
Kratz at first was an upgrade this year.
All right, World Series. Right? Are we at World Series or NLCS? NLCS first. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, who's your NLCS winner? Because obviously it depends on
I'm going Kratz, Homer, Phillies. Going Homer, Kratz pick.
All of Kratz's teams are in the playoffs. It doesn't matter. All my teams make the playoffs. That's what happens. Phillies going to the World Series. Phillies, Yankees, World Series.
Brewers.
You picked the Brewers to go to the World Series?
Yeah.
Wow, you're crazy.
The Brewers are this year's Diamondbacks.
Thank you.
The Brewers are this year's Diamondbacks. So you guys have Phillies. Todd's got Dodgers. Out of the Park has the Dodgers beaten up on the Phillies. They've got them winning 7 out of 10 times in a series matchup, according to their simulations. Good for them. And good for the league. I mean, I'm sure the league would love to see Ohtani in the World Series.
Of course they would.
TV networks.
Fox would love a Dodgers.
Would love that. They hate my pick.
Oh, yeah.
They hate it. My pick is Astros, Brewers, World Series. The Astros are always there, so there's fatigue. And the Brewers are in a teeny tiny market. But whatever. I mean, kind of win-win.
Whatever happens, happens. You get who you get.
Yeah, you get who you get.
Sometimes those bad teams not bad teams, but lesser-known teams get a lot of people to watch.
Yeah, that's right. Who's winning the World Series?
I'm going Kratz Homer pick. I'm going Phillies. I picked the Braves, Astros at the beginning of the year. Braves obviously are so beat up with losing everybody, but I'm sticking in the NL East. So I'm going Phillies. What is it called? Broad Street. They're going to have a parade down Broad Street. And before we go, I also want to say this, by the way. If you want to make the playoffs next year in your organization, you have FT at your spring training site because we went to Detroit, we went to Houston, we went to Baltimore, we went to the Mets, we went to the Braves, we went to the Yankees, and there's some other team. We went to the Phillies.
Wow.
There's some teams out there that didn't say yes to us coming, and they didn't make it. So if you want to go to the playoffs next year, you have me or one of the FT guys come to your spring training.
Yeah, there's a big karma thing going on in general, which I don't even know if I can lay out the whole thing. But there's guys who say no who get hurt. I don't know. It gets real weird.
I'm just talking about organizationally.
Yes. And the guys who say yes often go on a nice little run, like Lawrence Butler. All right, Kratz, who do you got?
There's a parade down Broad Street. Philly's going to win it.
Homer.
FT from Broad Street. FT from the parade.
Oh, there you go.
And that was your pick at the start of the year.
It was.
If he could pick the Phillies Brewers to split the World Series, it would be like, is there a way that even though they're both in the National League, Kratz would pick it.
All right, let's show it. Let's get everyone's picks on here. It's kind of boring for me, but I think Houston wins it.
Houston over Milwaukee, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Weird series, but yeah, that's where I'm going. Pap's got Philly, and Todd Father's got the Dodgers taking it. And so does Out of the Park. They've got the Dodgers, and they're feeling pretty good about it. 65% confidence, essentially, with the simulations 1,000 times that they're winning, 65% of the time. It's hard for me to see the pitching lasting. Remember last year we were talking about that, and it took 5 minutes for us to be like, okay, game over, series over. The Diamondbacks just beat the crap out of them early on. So anyway, props to Out of the Park for helping us out with all of that, sending in their picks. If you want to check out the game, anyone that wants to go get Out of the Park Baseball 25, I will post the link in the chat and in the description of this episode as well. And we'll swing right back on FT to pick sides in the Kendrick versus Montgomery drama with the Diamondbacks.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.